Is this mass deportation camps? The gulags have begun, etc. Now, look, I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that—
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay.
In this video, Ana Kasparian calls out her co-worker, insane woke freak show, Francesca Fiorentini. In addition to continuing to trash Ana Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, and TYT, Francesca Fiorentini has gotten herself into a tizzy again, for no reason, because the Trump administration plans on detaining illegal immigrants at Guantanamo Bay. With that, let's watch Ana Kasparian rip on Francesca Fiorentini for trashing her and Cenk Uygur to make something out of nothing and chasing clout with the far-left whack jobs.
Why? And now Trump is saying, oh, Dick Cheney had it right. Let's go send people there. At a bare minimum, not a good look. And overall, not a good policy. Okay, now the second issue is this mass deportation camps? The gulags have begun, etc. Now, look, I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that—
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay.
Yeah,
but continue. Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't mean to
but she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing if she's not attacking TYT? But anyway, continue, Jake.
Yeah, all right. So I have my issues with that, and I made that clear on her account, right? But what I'm more worried about is good folks that are getting into a panic because everyone's telling them the gulags are imminent, including some of our members. In fact, Rep Cat, the political cat boy, great member, just wrote in, and I want to read it and then I want to address it because it's so related to this story. They wrote in, so now that we've got concentration camps already, and we're only less than 2 weeks in, are you going to listen to all of us, mostly queer people, sounding the alarms on this and the impending Christian Holocaust? No. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, Clinton, as Anna just explained to you, you could look it up for yourself, even if you don't believe us, no problem, okay? Clinton used it and had 45,000 migrants there. The prison and the center are different, okay? So that doesn't mean that you should be in favor of sending them there. As I just told you, I think the content and the optics are bad and wrong. But if you call a migrant center that Bill Clinton had 45,000 migrants in a gulag that is showing you that we're about to have a Holocaust.
Yeah, that Francesca Fiorentini, almost used a bad word there, person is awful. I like that Cenk's like, she was using misleading clips, and I haven't seen that clip, but if Cenk's saying it, you can bet your bottom dollar that it was misleading. You guys know I love to rip on Cenk and Anna when she says dumb stuff, but credit where it's due. Cenk is right to call out that she used misleading clips or information. He's not right to say it's okay. Anna is right to say, no, that's not okay. It's dishonest. That's why normal people in America can't stand the left, because they lie so easily. Nothing in their evil brains says, you know what, this really isn't fair. We're being dishonest. Anything they put out there is to further their agenda or to cause outrage. So Francesca Fiorentini, you idiot, just go away, please. And help me understand this. A bunch of TYT fans and, of course, Francesca are calling these concentration camps. And the comment he read said, mostly queer people have been telling you this. Oh, mostly queer people have been telling us this? Well, I take it back, because they are the experts as it pertains to illegal immigration. Like, why would that person throw that in there? What does it have to do with anything? And what's even sadder is if there are people that don't follow politics closely or aren't really familiar with the Young Turks and they hear that, they're going to think that's true. But what's really unfair is that there are a lot of people out there that are gay, bisexual, whatever, that don't feel that way. And so they're doing what they criticize the right for all the time by stereotyping an entire group of people, the gay community, by even reading that one stupid tweet. And I blame the person who wrote it too, because if you don't know much about this, your immediate thought would be like, well, all the gay people out there think this is wrong. Like, this is one idiot for some reason inserting in their comment that they're gay. And if I were gay or bisexual, I'd say, who is this person? I don't agree with that. I know a lot of the LGBTQ blah 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 is on the left, but a lot of them are just normal people too. They're maybe misguided politically, and it's unfair to them to say, well, they're all telling us that these people are going to be put in concentration camps. What expertise do gay people have on deportation? I don't get it. And you want to talk about demonization? What's the one group of people that you can attack in this country with zero repercussion? Christians. And they call this a Christian Holocaust is upon us. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Bible-loving Christians that try to live God's word every day are planning a Holocaust. Good call. I mean, we've watched, is this 2 minutes of this? It's utter nonsense. And as I've mentioned before, this is how crazy the world's getting. Cenk and Anna are the ones pumping the brakes on these idiots. They're the voices of reason in this scenario. That's bananas. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Then why didn't Clinton do the Holocaust? And here's the interesting part. Why didn't mainstream media tell you that Clinton was doing that and get all outraged? Like, oh, I can't believe Clinton is using Guantanamo and he's stuffing these poor Haitian, by the way, immigrants, Cuban immigrants, Caribbean immigrants into Guantanamo. If they were equally outraged by that and they called that the impending Holocaust, and then they did the same exact thing with Trump, then I say, okay, at least they're being consistent. So look, two things can be true at the same time. It could be wrong to send them there without it being gulags that are going to imprison everybody that is undocumented immigrant or otherwise, and apparently we're going to set up concentration camps for Chinese people at some point. Okay, I mean, but when you go to those extremes, there's two giant problems. There's three giant problems. One is you're not being accurate, and that's an enormous problem. Okay, number two, you're scaring the hell out of everybody. In fact, you're helping Trump scare the hell out of everybody. Oh my God, the concentration camps are coming. Everybody's so super scared. That's what Trump wants. But
that is what he wants.
So I need everyone on that side to answer. Was it a concentration camp when Clinton did it? Okay, so let's be consistent, and maybe you'll say, yeah, it was, and you remember the Holocaust that happened right afterwards. Okay, so it doesn't excuse it. He shouldn't send them there. There's plenty of facilities here. And again, these are criminals, and I know, and here's another part that I'm opposed to. When they round up people that were not convicted of a crime, I'm against it, okay? So, and for a couple of reasons. And when they say, well, somebody was accused, good enough. No, not good enough. That's exactly one of the problems with sending people to Gitmo. That's exactly what we did last time. Somebody was accused, good enough. No, we got a whole bunch of people who didn't do it at all, that sat there for so long.
Aside from his statement saying, we shouldn't send these people to Guantanamo Bay, pretty much everything else that Cenk said there is accurate. As always, I hate to admit it, but if it's a gulag/concentration camp and you want to demonize Trump for his quote unquote cruelty, that's fine. But let's keep that same energy for your corrupt false idol, Bill Clinton. Go ahead, I'll wait. Why didn't the mainstream media get upset about Clinton engaging in this quote unquote Holocaust that they're describing here? I know we don't need more examples, but this really is just a perfect example of the double standard and the narrative crafting by the mainstream liberal media. I do not like the fact that the left wing is in such shambles that all they have to do now is scare the American people with Trump is going to do this, Trump is going to do that, Trump's going to take away this, Trump hates these people. I hate that, but as we've seen even recently, people wake up to how much they're being lied to about Trump, and it's just going to continue to make the left wing lose credibility. Like I said, I don't like the means to get to that point where they continue to lose credibility by scaring American people, but I think the end result of it will just weaken them even more than they already are, which every time it seems impossible for them to get any weaker or look like more of a clown show, they do something like this. But I do have a solution. They don't want them at Gitmo, so how about this? How about we just send them home? It would save a ton of money having to feed and shelter tens of thousands of people every day for however long. Doesn't that solve it? They're not at Guantanamo Bay then. They're sent home. We save money. So do you dumbasses like that solution? Let me guess. You don't. You have something else to complain about. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Got tortured, right? So I'm against the policy, but if you say this migrant center that we have used before, including Democratic presidents, is a concentration camp where they're going to do mass deportations of everyone, including Chinese Americans or whatever, right? Or Chinese immigrants or whatever crazy thing we're making up today. well, you're doing a giant disservice to the truth and to your own viewers, readers, etc. You owe them the truth. And by the way, look, when you say about the LGBTQ community, there are things that you should be deeply concerned about. And we talked about it on the show the other day, or actually several times, which is banning transgender people from the military. I think that's outrageous. I think it's unconstitutional. I think that's the thing we need to focus on and fight back against. But if you're spending your time fighting against mythical concentration camps, you're so worried and you're driving everybody into a psychosis, not at all helpful. Stick with the facts. Lou B says, I'm certain the very same argument was made in support of World War II Japanese internment. Quote, we just want to protect them. I'm positive you're right about that. And that's why I'm opposed to sending them to Gitmo. So
yeah, by the way, let me just say, this isn't about protecting anybody, right? I also disagree with sending migrants to Gitmo. And I'm also furious that despite pretending like Obama and Biden were gonna close Gitmo, they did not do that. Okay, they did not shut down Gitmo. And so when you leave certain practices in place, okay, and that's the thing that drives me crazy, right? The reason why I have a problem with the lack of coverage of what Democrats are up to, because I do think corporate media provides cover for the bad behavior of Democrats. What ends up happening is it makes someone like Donald Trump seem like a unique threat, and Democrats get away with doing the same thing that we are against, right? And so why is it okay for a Democratic president to do it? I know that our viewer is not making that argument, but I'm positive the majority of people on the left have no idea that this was a common practice that was on steroids during the Clinton administration. And the reason why I have a problem with it, in addition to that, is that it makes Donald Trump seem like, ooh, a very unique threat. Oh my God. And it instills a lot of fear in people. So it's important to know what the reality is. I'm against this practice as well, but this is something that Democrats have been guilty of doing as well. And they deserve the same ire that Donald Trump is getting.
I still don't understand what the LGBTQ community has to worry about. Cenk says it's crazy that transgender people can't serve in the military. Okay, well, if serving in the military is something you're really passionate about and you're transgender, then do whatever it takes to get in the military, meaning go to therapy, work out the issues that have gotten you to the point where you believe you want to be the opposite sex, get that under control, and join the military. I'm sure they'd be happy to have you. And then you would have reached a goal that was very important to you. Last thing. Obama and Biden both said they were going to shut down Guantanamo Bay, but this is going to shock everyone. I mean, you heard it already. I just want to reiterate. I know you were shocked at least when you heard it. Obama and Biden didn't follow through on something they said that they'd do. That's almost unheard of. I mean, those guys always kept their word. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about this whole sending illegal immigrant criminals to Guantanamo Bay? What do you think about Cenk and Anna's conversation about it? Let us know. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.